Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth.
Today's game is Marfusha. Papers, Please meets waifus with guns in this simple defender-style shooter. Is it worth protecting the motherland? Let's find out. Marfusha is a defense shooting game where you are tasked to protect a gate from ever-growing invading robot forces with touches of roguelike elements and tons of taxes to pay. You play as the titular Marfusha, anime soldier girl tasked to defend the wall from invading robots, and that's basically the gist of the plot. Go from location to location and defend it over the game's 30 to 40 minute long campaign. In that main campaign mode, gameplay will be split between days, and within each of those, several waves of various robots will swarm your gate and you'll need to take them down. There isn't a huge variety of enemies, but most are what you'd expect: basic melee rushers, suiciders, ranged attackers, and ones with obnoxious wave patterns. In early stages, the wall will heal between waves, but as progress continues, you'll be expected to use your own finances to maintain it. You are paid after every wave, with massive amounts cut off for taxes because this game is too realistic, and how well you do determines your eventual payout. The cash can be spent on one of 3 randomized upgrades every round, or saved for bigger upgrades later. Upgrades include basic stuff like improved damage, range, fire rate, reload, etc., as well as weapons which degrade after each round. You can also hire AI companions who will take enemies down with you. It's worth mentioning there are no permanent upgrades, they are limited to runs only. Between each day, you'll visit your state-assigned domicile along with your companion should you have one, and given options that can provide random stat growth here before the next day begins, and then you're off to defend again. Gameplay itself is basic enough: use the right stick to aim and shoot, and move with the left, though you have to manage weapon reloads, place traps or barriers, and so on. You can equip up to 2 one-time use secondary gear to even the odds, or just focus on blasting. Once you beat the campaign, you'll unlock Endless Mode, which lets you play as the characters of your companions, as well as Marfusha. They all have different stats, powers, and weapon preferences, and this is where the game really shines as its true difficulty emerges. And honestly, that's Marfusha, a fairly basic defending shooting game with a light upgrade system, lots of taxes, and plenty of waifus. So what did I like about Marfusha? Well, the game is fun. I know that's a really vague statement, but it evokes a lot of arcade games where the main loop is simple but addicting, and the shooting feels good all the way to the end. Additionally, I really enjoyed this game's upgrade system, particularly on the more difficult Endless Mode, as it makes you really think about what to buy, how to prioritize, and when to sacrifice your upgrades for things like barriers. And lastly, I generally enjoyed this game's art style, and it meshes well with the game's cynical sense of humor around the authoritarian state you're trying to defend. When it comes to the bad, this game is very basic. While I don't mind that it feels like a classic arcade game, there isn't much to it beyond what you play in the first 5 minutes. Additionally, it's also very short, with the campaign easily beatable in under an hour, and if you're good, you could probably get all the trophies in Endless Mode in under an hour as well, and additionally, that means there's not really anything to grind for or reason to keep playing. And lastly, the lack of enemy variety definitely is a bit of a downer, and a lot of the animations, particularly the way the girl's arms move, seem kind of half-baked. It's clear that even for an indie game, this is meant to be a budget title. As you know, rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And I think Marfusha is a maybe consider. Now, it isn't going to blow you away or anything, except maybe its soundtrack, which is amazing. But for a game I grabbed on sale, I actually had a ton of arcadey fun for its short runtime. This is a game in the purest sense. You're here to do one thing and do it well. And if blasting incoming robots with anime girls gels with you, you will absolutely have a great time here. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played or even heard of Marfusha, like I said, this was kind of a random sale pickup on PSN, and I had a lot of fun with it, but I want to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments, and then go out there and maybe give it a look.